So, hi all. Hope that I am audible. Kindly response. You use chat box and response there. Great. So, I hope everybody have received the assignment questions. Have you at least saw the questions there? Good that I can see several, at least not all, but at least a few people have tried, and most the one who have shared to me the documents, they have done the solutions properly and they have given the proper solution. But and again, there are few students who have acknowledged in the group saying that it is done very good. See, that is the, like, I can say that any questions given till date, date, whatever topic has been done, within that any question was given, and if you are completed solving those question, means any question within the level of knowledge which you have till date, you will clear it. That is the confidence, or that is the thing which I can tell the one who have told done. Whether it is wrong, right, I would validate later, but still the no first trying and then completing it is very much important. See, when we solve it in the session, how easy it was. Like, okay, when you see this, okay, this is how it works. Okay, there is a function called to be average, there is a function called to be mean. Okay, how easy it is when we see, but when we have to apply it on one particular question, all those questions which I have shared on the I had prepared the other set, which was actually up to a easy level. Then I thought, like, recently I just got one new question paper from one of your friend, that was the previous batch student in their interviews. So then I was just going through those questions. I felt that it was interesting, and if I pose those questions, you will also get that confidence to solve it. The one who have not at all solved, just downloaded and kept it as it is, I'm telling you, for and ever you will face difficulties to write the queries. The one at least tried, no, somehow you can manage it in the interview. The one who have completed it is good. So again, I would discuss those questions in the session only. uh, I think the previous questions, however, whatever I have shared, you can just neglect. The one who have shared me the solution, just fine. The one who have not shared me the solutions, that even though after solving, I would suggest that don't put it in group. Don't, because if you post the same thing, the other student also will copy. Whether it is correct or not, they will not validate that. Just directly copy paste is what they'll do, here and there some changes. You have struggled, you have done your job, so you directly put it to me. Any document, any word documents, you can consider and you can share it to me. Doubts, questions, like, okay, I'm not finding it this easy, I'm not understanding the question only, okay, keep it pending, no need to worry, I would be discussing. Those are important, so I would discuss in the session. Okay, but as soon as you complete whichever questions you have completed, question, solution, make one notepad document or Word document, share it privately to me, don't put it in group. I think six members from, I don't know whether they are from development or the testing, they have shared it to me, and I have given them the suggestions, some corrections, and out of six, I think five, no, four of them have done all the questions correctly. So I was just impressed by seeing that they have completed. And I, to cross verify, I asked them the question also, is this why did you take this one, why can't you do it this way? Some questions also I asked them, but they were able to answer that, which means they have not just copied, they have tried it. They have tried and they have written those queries, because you cannot find out the same solution in the internet, because it was a combination of question. You may get it, but if you copy paste, I can easily find out that it has been copy pasted. Okay. See, why do you copy paste? You have to validate what knowledge you have, how much you have understood. Based on that, try to solve it. Not able to solve, find out why you are not able to solve. That means you're not understanding the question. So try to understand the question. I will give one more day, solve it. If you have not at all seen that document, please go through your respective groups, check that document, solve the question. I think hardly 4 or 3 questions should be tough. Other than that, the rest are easy only. Okay. So yeah, let me just okay, some was done, some facing issue. Is that's okay. If you're facing issue in few questions, keep them pending. Whichever you have done, try to share it privately to me. Only to yesterday's, the assignment you share. Don't share everything. Okay, I'll share the screen first. Basic understanding of joining, we have got it. Means how to use inner join, how to join. Then also the last point where I have discussed about the cross join. That also I have told. The cross join is nothing but the Cartesian product, or it just multiplies with all the rows of the other table and it gives you the solution. Okay, that is what in a pictorial way I have given. And if you have observed the document, if you have gone through the notes which I have shared, in that notes I have mentioned the syntax of cross join. Okay, so try to execute your respective, the current one, the current table which we have, that is 20 rows in the employees table, and I think I don't know how much in the departments. Those many rows, if you do a cross join, there would be a output which were multiplied with those number of rows. Okay, the cross multiplication will take place and those many combination will come into picture. First row with all the rows of departments, second row with all the rows of departments. Like this, it start doing the combination. For cross join, you need not give any condition. It performs automatically with all the rows. So there is no requirement of telling ID or some column condition is not required. You can just tell cross join on which table, from which table, that's all. Okay, now we have one more join here. All these days now, whenever we are performing the join, you have noticed that if in case if you tell on employee ID equal to employee ID of departments, or department ID of department which is equal to a department ID of employees. For example, whenever I would say select first name, a last name from employees, join departments on departments on, maybe I'll give the alternative names here. I'll tell it this way: E dot department ID is equals to D dot department ID. So if you give this information, this first name and last name are of which table, that also we have to be using it here. Means we have to give that information: E dot first name, E dot last name. Like that, if we give, there would be no confusion for it. Now there is no confusion because first name and last name is present only in the employees table. If you give also it will work, if you don't give also it will work. But when you have the first name in the employees also, in the departments also, then the confusion will arise. So when you are giving the alternative name, that is alias names, just make a habit of giving it over there. Okay, so maybe I would now tell, so which type of joining is this? Very good. It is inner join. Whether you tell with you don't tell, the by default it is understood as inner join. So you can give explicitly as inner join. If you don't mention also, it still works. Okay. So I'll just run. You can notice I am getting I'm getting a certain output over there. So output does not matter for me. So here, in case of this, let me just tell star, so that let it print all the columns of employees, all the columns of departments. So if you now observe, which are the common column, department ID. It has been printed twice. Still you will be having it. I have viewed only 10 rows, so it is printing only 10 rows. So you can notice here two columns, because it is a common column, it is printing. In all the columns, I mean the joins which we have noticed, it is same. Whenever you try to print it, all the details, it will print the common column twice. But you have one more join which is called to be a natural join. Kindly do observe. So when I explain the question set which I have shared it, then you will realize how to use all other subqueries with joins with other clauses, order by, whatever group by you have, right? You will understand how to organize it. But even me telling you, if you are able to do it, it is good. That is the reason I just wanted to test you people. But 90% you should be able to do it. 10% some support is required. That is the reason I told that assignment I'll be discussing in the session. Okay, so come back first, complete the portion here. What is natural join? So natural join is something like this. Whatever you are performing, right, inner join, left join, right join, outer join, all that can be performed here also. Not outer join, sorry, inner, left, right. But what is the difference between the other joints till now which we have understood this joint? Here we will not be writing any this one, that is a specific conditions here. Just we will tell natural joint. When we tell natural joint, two things you should remember. One, we need not give this on basis of what we should combine, join the table. That is, we need not give the condition. No conditions required. Notes I'll pass on. Sorry. So natural join, no conditions are required. You can easily write it without conditions. Post that, you can also come to this conclusion. Whatever the common column was getting repeated, no, that is like we have the department ID 2 times to be written, correct? So that 2 times will not be there, only individual column will be present, because it is a natural joining process which will take place, and whatever common column will be there, that would be there only once. So for this, what you should understand here is the common column will not be repeated. So maybe I'll just mention here, the common column will not be repeated. Then there should be a question now. If we are not giving a condition here, till now how it was working, whatever condition we give, based on that it was working. But now I'm not giving condition, then based on what it will do a comparison and combine the table. This would be a question. So basically this natural join by default works like a inner join. By default it works like a inner join. So when we are not telling what type of join, what type of join we are performing, by default it performs inner join. Suppose we have to tell what type of join we need to perform, explicitly we can mention that. So we can just tell, maybe for example I would now tell select star from employees. Okay, I need not give the condition, right? So I will not give the alias name also here. After that, I would now tell join, not simple join, it is a natural join which I would perform. Natural join only, but which type? Is it inner, it is left, it is right? By default, by default, whatever we have is inner. I did not tell inner, but still it will perform the inner join, please observe. And on what table I should be doing this? I have to inform here. Natural join. Which table? I mean, which table I have to perform here? I have to perform a natural join to a department's table. Before I execute that, I just wanted to execute one statement. Please observe employees. So please do check. Employee ID, first name, last name, email, column names is what I'm reading. Phone number, hire date, job ID, salary, commission PCT, manager ID, department ID. Okay. Same way, let me just quickly execute for departments. So I have department ID, department name, manager ID, location ID. Can you just conclude and tell me how many columns are common between employees table and departments table? Okay, maybe I'll combine it and show. Please observe how many columns are there which are common in employees and departments. One or two? Which are those? One is common, department ID. Till now we have used. Which is the another one? So I hope it is visible here. Manager ID of employees table, manager ID of departments table. So I hope that clarity you have got it. So till now, how did we perform the condition here? We checked. Please check a condition. Combine the table based on the department ID. Same thing. Let me execute this way. Instead of department ID, I'll tell manager ID. If it is common, then only I can execute. So I would tell run. Since it is common, I'm getting this output. Only manager ID which is common in employee and in the departments is this Vinod Kumar ID. See here, manager ID is 111, manager ID is 111, department ID is 1990. Ma'am, we have the manager ID for departments and the employees, and why it is not printing for other roles? For other roles, manager IDs are different, where in the department IDs was common. So many rows we got it in the previous example. But now based on manager ID we told. So it is doing what? It is checking with a manager ID only. So what is happening? The one which is common here is only this ID is common. So I would getting it here. Okay. Now if I do the same type of operation, but I am not considering any inner join, rather I am considering what? I am considering the natural join. Now I have common columns based on what the condition will be checked. Is it on the employee or is it on the manager ID? Long back I have told you, whenever it is a common column, inner joining means whichever common column I have will be validated irrespective of how many columns we have. But in inner join, specifically when the name is there, inner join, we should give a condition. So based on condition, it will work. Now natural join, by default, it has a feature of inner join, and explicitly we are not giving the condition. So what it does is it performs an operation of two common column also. It will check manager ID is 111 and department ID is 90. In employees, is there any row? Is there any row in the departments which is having same type of data? Let me now re-execute this. I'll re-execute this. Departments one, please understand, try to understand the difference between natural join and inner join. Yeah, so I'll go move on to, yeah. So if you now observe, can you find out any row which is having 112 as a manager ID here, and department ID 90. Okay, department ID is 90 here also. If I'm not wrong, it is 90 for these many IDs of departments. But out of these 390s of departments ID in department table, any of the departments manager ID is 112? No. So you can come to this conclusion here. We have only one data which is having manager ID 111 and department ID as 90. Means in out of these four columns, two in employees, two in departments table. Let me just make it simple. Yeah. So I have manager ID, manager ID, EMP ID. I'll just take, sorry, department. I'll just write department like this. And here has to be like this. Here, this is belonging to the employees. This is belonging to the departments. So when we have this information, we can consider now which is such common rows, common rows which have the same data in both. I have one here. Sorry. Yeah. One here, two here. For example, I'm taking it here. And department ID 1122334455. Like this, I'll consider. When it comes to the departments, I would tell the manager ID is 1, then 3, sorry, 5, then 4, then maybe I'll make everything different so that explanation will be clear. Yeah, 84, then 99, and maybe 3. So, okay, I'll make it different. Then when it comes to the department ID, I would now tell 11, 22, 33, 44, 55. If you now notice, out of these two columns in employees and in departments, which is one such row, or which is that row which has common in both? Don't you think I have only the common category here is only this one? Agree? Yes, ma'am, department ID is 22 here, but it is not here also, it is 22. You don't observe only one column, because now whatever natural join we are doing, it will check for common columns. Here also these two are common columns for these two. So it will check both the columns. Then out of both the columns, which are such rows which is common, that is what it will check. So here it is 1. For 1, what is the department ID? 11. Okay, it will check. Oh, here it is 1. For 1, what is the department ID? 11. It is matching now. It is happy and it will consider this particular column only. Row only. After that, I have the row which is manager ID is 2. Do I have any row which is 2 in manager in the departments? No, I don't have anything called to be 2. Here I don't have, here I don't have, here I don't have. So no comparison. 3, no. 4, no. 5, no. Then done. I don't have the similar one. This is how it will check. Even one information is not matching in manager ID, it will not consider the other one. Or it is checking with the department, then this is how it will check. Okay, I have 22. Okay, I have 22. Okay, then what is the 22's manager ID? It is 2 here. Do I have a manager ID 2 here for 22 anywhere? No. Then that is Again, no comparison and no joining process will take place for that particular row. So if I now come back to my query here, if I perform this type of join, it is inner join only for common column. That is the reason I will get only one output. Don't come to conclusion, it is checking with only manager ID. No, because many will get this, confusion or come to this conclusion. Oh, ma'am, and she executed manager ID common column, then it gave this output. So here also it is giving the same output. That means natural join is working on manager ID. No, it is working on both the columns, department ID and manager ID, which are common columns. But in common columns, common data is only this one, this manager ID and department ID combination. So I'm getting it. Is that clear? Quick response. Now, if anybody asks you, what is the difference between inner join and natural inner join? Will you be able to tell? Suppose I give it as like this. There's just the same output. Whether you tell like this or explicitly mention like that, the meaning is just the same. It will perform inner join only. So you should remember, whenever natural join, the question is asked, one thing immediately you should tell, no conditions required. Secondly, common columns will not be repeated. If you observe manager ID, department ID, employee ID, is there any other repetition of column here? No. So hence the second statement is clear. By default, I didn't tell what type of join is this. What kind of join it perform? It perform inner join only. Means common columns will be identified and data will be matched. Okay. So post that, using natural join, you can still perform left, right, and full join. So I would just tell here, I'll tell left natural join, check with common column data. This is how the output looks. So it is checking with these information, which are the left common, that is employees table left data, and it gives you the output. That is the reason you are getting 20 rows, and towards the right hand side for department name, location, nothing is there because no common data there. Okay, this is one. Same way I would perform right join. Right join means it was performing on departments. The departments data will be more. Imagine the diagram that I showed, right? See, manager ID, department ID. Rest of them empty because common data is not there, no? These are the information of the department table. Okay, then I would now perform full join, which will give you all the data. Join departments. So yeah, just 27 rows. I think 20 rows in employees, 7 rows in departments. Getting it? This is one of the interview questions. They'll ask you the difference between inner join and natural join. You have to explain them. In the interview, they'll tell you, please explain the difference between natural join and inner join. How did I take the example? I took the simple example to make you understand. There, don't try to create a table, then create a columns, then add no. Just open notepad or maybe the paint screen, consider one data there. There you explain. So only I always mention you, when you're studying, when you're trying to understand something, now in session you're understanding it, try to replicate it. Take one sheet of a paper, assume that this question is asked, how you will explain. Definitely you cannot explain in Hindi, Kannada, Telugu. Rather, you should explain in English only. So try to revise it by writing in a paper. Assume that there is an interview, you have to tell them how to. Okay, no, I'm not. In interview, they'll ask in the online means, how can I explain? Take the pen thin, then you type and show. You yourself only see that, or do a screen recording and type that. So you will understand how you are representing the things. Okay. So one side, your representation skill also will be improved. The other side, your the way answer you are giving, that also will get improved. If you are not able to tell, that means you have not understood it properly. Then find out how to tell. Video recordings will be however available. Just again go to listen to that in a fast speed mode. Just close your eye and listen what I'm trying to tell. Same way you communicate. As simple as that. So with respect to natural join, is it clear to all? Specifically, they'll not ask you to perform natural join by writing a query. The queries will always be on the previous day, whatever we discussed, right? On that only. This is just for sometimes maybe you have to work on something when you are in an industry. There you would use it. That's the reason. That is the reason I took it on as a second part. Yeah. Keeping this aside, we have one more, which is not important, but you should know about it. Self-join. Self-join, as the name indicates, we can use only one table. Now we have an employees table, right? This is employees table. This is employee table as table 1. The same employees table as a table 2. Same table, I can consider as two different tables. Now, whatever comparison I do with the same table only, it will perform the comparison. Then how to do this? So let me just quickly take the question. So maybe I'll consider, or maybe I'll write a query and show it. So select, maybe I would consider employees table, or maybe in short, I'll tell E1 dot employee ID. Okay. So when I say E1, is the table 1 or table 2? Table 1. Make that clear. Okay. Then I'll tell E2. E2 means table 2. Table 1 also is employee. Table 2 also is employees only. But I am treating it as two different tables to make some comparisons. Okay. So here I'm telling employee table 1, consider the employee ID. Table 2 is consider the first name. Okay. And maybe I'll consider the table 1's salary also, like this. And all these are the information from which table? Employees table E1. Not only that, I would tell employees table E2. I'm not telling join here. I try to understand. I'm not using anything called as join. Sometimes they'll ask you the question, please perform joining of a table without joining, which means they are saying without using the term join. Continue doing this joining process. So then you can go to self join, or else I have one more way of writing the code. I'll show that. Okay. Yeah, most of the time, if it is not a join keyword, it is called to be a self join. If it is for the same table, you can also write it for a different table. I'll deal again with that later. Just pay attention now. So employees E1, employees E2, based on what? Based on certain condition. E1 salary is less than E2 salary. This is how I would tell. Now employees table salary only, it was getting compared. How it would do? Suppose I would just execute this employees table I'm running. Here, just a minute here. So what is happening here is, first assume that what I have given in a query, employee ID of table 1. So this is the table 1, employee ID 1, which would be compared with Sachin once, Sachin salary once, Sachin salary first, then same again with Vinod salary, then Santosh salary, like this. It will be keep on comparing. Whichever salary is less than the table 2. I don't know how the comparison will work, but I have given one condition, table 1, table 2. So it start with 24. Whoever salary is less than 24,000, while it is making condition. Maybe I'll do it this way. So suppose it is containing the 24,000. First time it is comparing with this. In the second table, what it will do, then there also it will have Sachin salary only, right? It will check, is this less than this? No. So it will neglect there. Next, 17,000. No. Next, 19,000. No. 16,000. No. Then 26,000. Here, yes. Then this row would be considered. I am giving a sample example. It may go with any orders, but according to the condition, those many rows will be printed. Let me just try to execute it once quickly. I run, you can see it goes on. 179 combinations have been taken place. I showed you one example, 24,000. Like that, different values are there, no? There are 8,500. Sometimes it will compare with 8,500 also. The comparison will take place. So only it is printing all that row. That row also has a condition. So basically you should know how the things works, self join, natural join. Once you go to the industry, you will use it. And again, in the interview, if they're asking you, they will definitely ask you on the previous day whatever we have discussed, right, based on those joints and the difference between natural join and the all other joints, the previous one. Okay, they can ask left, right, full, whatever, but they'll also compare the question there. Please describe about natural. So you should be able to tell what is the difference. Okay, self join, will they ask? If they ask, hardly what you can tell. It just compare with the same tables with whatever condition we tell. And syntax is very much important. We will not use join keyword there. So is this clear to all? And nobody will expect you to write an output for self join. It is unpredictable if you have the large volume of data. It just compares on each salaries and give you. Okay. For every data it compares to it, the number of comparisons will increase. Only to analyze, okay, what could be a comparison, we can use self join. That's it. So nobody will ask you, please write the output for self join. And nobody will ask. It's meaningless there. I hope till self join is clear to all. Quickly response. We have 3 more days of session. Leaving today's, we have 3 more hours of understanding the concepts. So try to respond now. After 3 days, no, I will not be there to tell, please respond. I would be there to address your queries, like you have some interview. And again, one more thing, whenever you are going to interview, just inform me that you're attending this interview and so company. If I can share some inputs to you, because I would have seen multiple companies visiting, right? So I, little bit, maybe not all the company, but few companies, how they prepare the questions based on SQL, Java. I have, because most of the time I would have been there in the technical panel. So that is the reason, just as an input, you share it to me, so that whatever information I can share it to you. Please go through these topics. I can give you a topics headers there, so that you can go through them. It will help you out to clear the interviews. Just one information. Okay. it is like a conditional cartesian product. Surbi is saying, have a point here. See, cross product compares with every rows, right? It gives you comparison for every rows. But here, on based on only salary, means whatever condition, correct, the whatever the condition we are providing, based on that the comparison will take place. Okay. Santanu is saying that the self joining is little bit confusing. Need not worry, it is something like this: you are comparing on yourself. Okay, you got marks 95, that 95 is equal to in the English language marks, or is it equal to other marks? Like this, you are comparing with yourself only. Oh, in the last semester I got this much, but this semester I am getting this much. Something like that. You are comparing with yourself. Same thing here. What I am doing, I am comparing some value within the same table, but treating them as two different tables. That's it. Okay. Yeah. So having this understanding, sometimes they, as I mentioned, they will also ask you like, okay, write the query to display all the details, but you should not be using the joins there. Means maybe they would ask you to I mean, multiple tables to be combined, and they'll ask you not to use a where clause. Again, I have one question. I have shared one document there. I don't remember which document was that, note 10 or 9, I don't remember. Yeah, in one of the notes, I have given this question. How many join operation I can perform? Did you read that question there? Now, whatever we are performing, see, this is only one level join. This is only one level join. Like this, how many levels of joining we have to be doing it? Good, Surabhi. I can see one student going through that question. Um, yes, in subqueries, we have that point. Means 255 times that come. Subquery is something like that you can be writing, right? Even in this, assume this is one query, and for this, there is a subquery. There, I would be doing a join. For that, one more subquery. There, I would be doing a join, which means we can do 255 times for Oracle. This is limited to Oracle. The other database have a different counts, but here for Oracle, it is 255. Okay. Now there would be a question, ma'am, till now what we have understood is only one time joining. How we can write multiple time? That also we will understand. Quickly we will move on. But before that, how we can join tables or multiple tables without using join? That would be a question. Okay. If suppose I'll consider one question to display all the details, maybe of employees, where employee ID in the employee table or employees table, which we are considering, is equal to employee ID in the departments table, but without using join. Same operation, but without using join. There is a question: can we still do it without join? 100% we can do it. How we did the self join, the same way. I would now tell, please give in the information of all. From which table? From employees table. Not only employees, along with that, I wanted from departments, where there is some condition, right? Without condition, can we combine? No, you should not be doing that. So if they ask you this way, or definitely there would be a condition where I would now tell this way. That is, maybe I'll consider the names here, E1 and E2. You can consider anything, D, E, anything. So I'll tell E1 dot employee ID. Whatever you are using, that you should remember. Here you will tell E1, here you will tell E. You will not get the output. So that you should remember. E2 dot employee ID. This is how I would now tell. I'll use it. Now what we are doing, we are combining the table somewhere, employee ID. Invalid. What is the mistake here? Do we have employee ID? In employee, okay. In departments, we don't have employee ID, I guess. So it is giving error. Departments, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? So we don't have that. Maybe I'll slightly alter. In place of employee ID, I'll make it as department ID. So in my query, I'll alter it to be department ID. Here also I'll tell department ID. Let me just select and now run. So we are getting the information this way. Leaving natural join in all the joins, without joins, the common columns will always get repeated. That you should remember. Okay. This is one which I wanted to communicate. So without the join, then a few people will have this mindset, ma'am, then why we should use join concept? Without joins directly we can do, not simply extra burden of learning joins and all. Now it is easy because the question is easy, but all the time going with only condition will make you, to write lengthiest query with lot of conditional statements there. But if we are going with a join, it sorts our problem most of the time. Easily we can write it in a join. Not all the queries are adaptable without the joins. But if they ask you without join, is it possible? Yeah, we can write it this way. That you should know. There is a reason I'm giving it. If the situation is something like this, without join, easily we can do, then why to write joins and all? Easily I'll do it like this. So all the situations you should know. There is a reason I've given it here. Let us understand one quick last point. In 10 more minutes, I want everybody to concentrate the last part. So leave all your duty. If you're responding to your boyfriend, girlfriend in your mobile phone for 10 minutes, keep it aside because this is also one of the interview question. After that, I will not be there in the session and you will not be connected here. You can do whatever you want. For next 10 minutes, I want everybody's attention here. So sometimes they'll ask you to write one simple query to, join the multiple tables, or I can say most probably 90% asked question is how to join 3 tables in SQL. That is Oracle. What we are discussing is Oracle. Okay. So this is one of the question which they can ask you. So how to do this type of activity? Now, whatever tables we have, see here, I have one employees table which has the common column here. I mean, the columns are these: manager ID, department ID, and employee ID are the primary data. Primary keys means somewhere I will be using it. So in departments I have used, and in departments what I have, manager ID and department ID. One more table, if I create a location ID also might be, I would be using it, but I don't have it here. And one more table which previously we have created is job grades. If you remember, select start from job grades. This is one table. I'll run, and if I Scroll it down. I don't have any dependencies here. See, grade, lower salary, higher salary. Only these information I have it here. Okay, ma'am, till date we have not used this table. We have not closed our scale, right? 3 more days are there, 3 more solid hours we have, and definitely we'll be using this. This is also a table which we have. Okay, but here I don't have any dependency columns of those two table. To demonstrate you, there is a reason I would consider the different table altogether now. Is that clear? Why I am not joining these three tables? Because I don't have the common columns. I have only for two tables, departments and employees. But for job grades, I have not considered. So I cannot show you for this. If I have to show you the joining, then I have to have the common columns there. Getting it? At least now you should know the information about joins. In your sleep also somebody will come and wake you up, and if they ask what is a symbol used for addition, immediately you will tell plus. Same way, what is natural join, immediately you should give the example there by explaining it. That is how you have to put it in your mind. Okay, yeah. So how to perform this type of joins means, maybe I'll consider tables there. I'll go with the sample example. If I have to explicitly create a table and then do it, it will take time for me. And within 1 hour of duration, it is difficult for us to do all the tasks. So what I did, in the previous batch, when I have created, I have the table screenshots. So I would show that screenshots here. If you observe, this is one table, this is one table, this is one table. And what are the column? Please observe. I will share this table screenshots also, need not worry. Employee ID, first name, last name. Employee ID, departments. Employee ID, department name, department head ID. Now, by seeing this image, can you tell me the common columns between department, EMP department table and employee table? Common column between these two, employee and EMP department, employee department table. What are the common columns between these two? Employee ID, very good. I want the common column between employee department and department. Again, it is employee ID only. So I can say this is my primary key followed by foreign key. The same primary key followed by foreign key. That is, I am using here also, I am using here also based on this. Okay. First, employee table, it could be in either way. Suppose the department they have created first, and now I am referencing it here also, here also. That could be a possible way, but usually they will have this employee, then their respective informations. That is the reason I have taken it in this way. Okay, either of the cases with the queries, it works fine. I hope the clarity with the tables are clear. Now, if in case if I have to print the first name and the last name, what is the query I should be writing for that table? If I have to just print first name and the last name, this is how I would tell. I would just mention EMP first name, because this is the column name, EMP last name. I think how I have written the column name, EMP, okay, together. So I cannot execute here because I don't have the table. I'm only showing you how to write it. Okay. Yeah. Then from which table? From employees table. What was my question? Only to print first name and last name. This is how I'll do it. It's simple as that. Okay. Suppose the question is that I have to print first name, then last name. Not only that, maybe I want to print based on certain condition. Means maybe some condition is there based on the common column. Maybe I'll tell based on the employee ID you print it. Okay, this is the conditional statement which I am telling. Now, employee ID based on the department's employee department, I should consider that and I should be writing it. Employee ID is there in departments also, but I want to tell in question they would have mentioned by using the EMP department ID and sorry, I'll consider show this enter so that there would be no problem. There is a table. So there would be a question to print the first name and the last name where employee ID of employee is equal to employee ID of EMP department. This would be a question. If that is a question now understood, I should combine these two tables. So what I'll do, as simple as that, I'll perform a joins. Then here I'll tell this is one table which should be question in short form I have written. Okay. Yeah. Later while sharing the notes, I would write the complete question. So when you are referring, because tomorrow again, if you open the same sheet, you'll question yourself, this mad lady have given this first name, last name, but what is that? I cannot understand. Like that, you will scold me. So then I will not take that chance. I'll give you complete question then. But for now, since you are live here, I'm writing it in short. Okay. Yeah. Coming back to this, how do I write the question? Select what is that I need to print? First name, last name. So I'll tell which table's first name I want to consider. First name is present in first table. So E1 dot first name, EMP first name together. I got in habit of writing first name like that, so I'm waiting. Then last name, again it is present in table 1, EMP last name. Okay. So after that, I should also be printing the other information. Just a minute. Sorry for that. I told you, right? I have a kid, my son, who is 2 months old now. So he just woke up, and that is the reason. So I'll just quickly rush to this. Yeah. That is the reason I couldn't take up the yesterday's session also. He's suffering from cold because of this climate change. I hope everybody understands that because if I start taking up this session yesterday, I couldn't console him. So much of issues yesterday. That is the reason. So I think another 3 days I can just manage it, no problem. Yeah. Employee first name, last name, where was I? Yeah. So first name I have to be printing the last name, but now along with this, I should maybe I'll consider that one more information also to be printed so that I can demonstrate with the two tables, first name, last name. Then please print the department name also. This is how I would tell. You print the department name. So let me consider where is the department name. Department name is present in department. Now I should compare these two and I should be doing it. Okay. First name, last name. Then second table's department name. The department name is given this way. Okay. Now department name. This is the information which I should be printing from which table? From employee table. Now then I should compare or join with which table? I should be comparing with one more table, whatever the information I have, right, I should be validating, which is equal to. Now comes the challenge. I think I cannot explain within 2 minutes. Two more samples I have to be taking. Okay, if you people are okay, can we take this last part of discussion tomorrow? If you're okay, because I need to deeply go into this different parts and then show you how you will join it for the three. So that topic will be clear. Okay, I can just quickly go, but the topic will not be clear. That question will stay in your mind. Okay, fine then. Thanks for understanding. So let us understand this last part. One is that how to join three tables in SQL, that we will understand. And tomorrow we will start up with a new important one more topic, subsets of SQL, that is SQL commands. That is, I hope you would have got this interview question. How to alter a table, how to drop a table, truncate, in other words, DDL commands, DML commands, DCL, all this, right? And most of our interview questions you would have seen. Yes, that is more interesting, to be frank. And there, for me, it is easy task. I'll show one simple signature and I'll write one query. You should be writing a multiple queries for that. So it is very easy, to be frank. It is not little bit so much of, we should use logics to write like how we are doing in joins and all like that. It is not there. So it is very easy to write up over there. So we'll take it tomorrow. Okay. And if it is not possible for me to, ma'am, union intersect, that is last sets topic. The last day I'll be discussing that with the few information of normalization I'll be giving in the last day. So post that, one more session in one of the week I'll take, so that I can explain you for few important questions, like how to answer those and all. Like maybe it is like a grooming session which I would take. Okay. So 3 days, if it is not possible, maybe I'll extend one more day. So you should be ready to take up one more day. I don't think so that should be a problem. Okay. Yes. Fine then, guys. Thanks for understanding. My son is already shouting there, so I would stop the discussion today. I hope everybody will understand. Yeah. Fine then. Have a great night. Let's meet tomorrow. Thank you.